Now, Humphrey, the third track on our album.
The third track is called Thunderbirds Are Coming Out.
Yes.
And is, basically a thinly veiled attempt for us to jump on the back of a kitschy 60s puppet show and really has no merit whatsoever.
So let us go on to the fourth track.
Yeah, we'll go on to the fourth track. The fourth track, of course, is Being Caught Wankin'.
Yes, yes. Now, this track, Being Caught Wankin', we could dedicate to various Australian rock groups that we've played with, but I think it's more deeply, in fact, autobiographical in the sense of, a Hardy's autobiographical use of growing up in Wessex, in the south of England there. Being Caught Wanking is TISM reaching out to our audience and saying, this is who we are, this is where we come from, we've been caught wanking. And I think if you there sitting at your computer looking at this and playing in your CD-ROM can somehow empathise with the whole idea of being caught wanking, because it's not just the literal act of masturbation, I think, Humphrey, that we're talking about here.
No.
It's an expanded definition, sense of wanking, I think.
Yes, wanking is a beautifully universal word. And
something else we got from Cordon there.
It was, that's right, yes. And, it's something that you can go to any country that speaks English, and they will understand wanking. I think it's yet another thing that we hope will bring people together. We can all come together in a wank.
Yes. In a wanking sense.
In a wanking sense.
The next song on the album, www.tism.wanker.com, I think is a deeply thought through number, don't you think, Humphrey?
That's right, but you'd be guessing what it was, and it is in fact Denial Works for Me.
Yes.
And there are a lot of problems with that song, but
this is the one for the girls, isn't it? Let's face it, it's the one for the girls.
But I don't see any problems with it at all. So we'll move on.
Yeah.
And the next track, of course, is The Parable of Glenn McGrath's Haircuts.
Yes.
Now there is obviously a bit of a story element to that song.
It's the searching use of narrative, but what it's saying there is something that I think we all intuitively feel when we're in high school, and that is, you all know of the kids in your class that were the heroes of the class. You all know about the boy who had dope first and got the first girl, and we also, conversely, of course, know of the girls that was the first to kiss the boys and the first to follow the fashion. And TISM is reaching out and saying, those kids never did anything else good in their life. We're saying it's impossible to be a successful and popular teenager and at the same time have a worthwhile life. Something I think we all instinctively know.
I think it's probably one of the most positive songs that we've ever written.
Yeah.
And, obviously we're saying to you who bought the album, don't worry by the fact that you're the sort of person who sits at a computer watching a TISM CD-ROM.
Yeah.
Don't worry the fact that may be directly proportionate to the amount of popularity you have.
Yeah.
Because it's the nerds who win in the end. Of course, that's grossly simplistic.
Yeah, wrong. It's sour
yeah.
grapes. Actually, you're sitting there at the computer just like we did in our own unsuccessful teenagehood, and nothing has happened to change the failure that is the theme of failure that's run through our lives. So skip that track and we'll go on to the next track.
Yeah, skip that track, that's right. The next track, of course, is Yob, which was, obviously a single. And I'd like to just briefly praise the use of Hawaiian steel guitar by T. Blackman in that track. T. Blackman was, of course, originally from a Hawaiian band, and we met him on our tour, our Pacific region tour several years ago, and he's lost a lot of weight to be in the band, and I think that...
And just while we're on that, hello to all the people from the Pacific regions, and I want you to be strong in your nationhood and strong in the fact of Western capitalism should not come and invade your islands. And TISM, big man, come on, big white bird, come down, save you again 2 months' time, okay?
And that track, of course, is followed by the somewhat controversial track, which is entitled "The Mighty Cunt," but it's not a fucking cunt.
Yeah. Now, the thing we like about that one is I think Triple J got it right here. There are a lot of reasons why not to play a TISM track, and a lot of people left on the obvious reason there, and they didn't play it because of the swearing. But those incisive Triple J people concerned only for musical integrity, concerned only for what is best for the Aussie rock industry. They got it right when they said, we're not playing this song not because of the swearing, but because it's no good. And it's about time someone caught us out and called our bluff and realised that underneath the shoddy masks and the swearing and the infantile personas, there exists a deeply, deeply flawed rock band.
Mm. So, you know, as you listen to that track, you'll no doubt pick it up as well. The fact that really we're hiding behind that thin veil of controversy.
The schoolboy humour.
And, you know, yet again, really. So, and by this stage, you know, you've waded through the malaria-infested mud of this album.
Yeah.
You're beginning to wonder, you know, what you could have done with this money.
That's right.
I mean, if you'd gone down to your local vinyl recycle shop, you could have picked up, you know, 9 or 10 Status Quo albums for the same amount of money. And I think you clearly would have been you know, much more lyrically satisfied, at least. And, you know, Status Quo's ingenious use of repetition is something that we have tried to emulate, but clearly have failed on. So.
Yes, yes. We'd like to make clear that, as we said before, Chord Regime attacked the status quo, but I think they're referring to the social system.
I think they could be, yeah. That's something we don't understand due to a lack of intelligence.
Right.
The next track that follows from the aforementioned so-called controversial, but in fact just not very good, I might be comfortable not fucking cunt, is a track called Great Expectations. Now, that was actually a misprint. It should have been called Great Expectations.
Yes.
And it was a haunting tale of the rise of a young boy.
Yes, hip, that's right.
And was originally produced in novel form.
Yes. By Chord Regime in 1862. Chord Regime released Great Expectations just I think prior to Dombey and Son, and it was of course the start of their more deeply felt albums where they expanded from the comic satire of the Victorian Music Hall and became more complex and more at one with their art by expanding the album and using leitmotifs like the slums of London, not just as a base of social consciousness, but as a symbol for the inner slums of Victorian England. And thank you to Chord Regime. Thank you again for opening that rich avenue of symbolism to us all.
Due to a shockingly apathetic typographical error by somebody at Shock Records.
Yes. Hello to David Williams, and hope the battle with heroin addiction's going well.